Welcome to GAIME, your home for exceptional adventures. I am the Game Master, and in today's video, we're going to look at the top 10 shooters of all time. First, if you're interested in taking a look at any of our other properties, you can search us up at aspireintegratedmedia.com. So what is a shooter? Well, shooter games as defined by Wikipedia are a subgenre of action video games where the focus is almost entirely on the defeat of the character's enemies using the weapons given to the player. Usually, these weapons are firearms or some other long-range weapons and can be used in combination with other tools such as grenades for indirect offense, armor for additional defense, or accessories such as telescopic sights to modify the behavior of the weapons. A common resource found in many shooter games is ammo, armor, or health, or upgrades which augment the player character's weapons. Today, we're going to look at both first-person shooters and third-person shooters as a whole, and our opinion on the best of these. So here's our list. First off, we have Goldeneye 64. Now, Goldeneye has the distinct privilege of being one of the few movie tie-ins that actually turned out good. This is the game that started it all for console players. The game was released in '97 on the N64 and introduced console players to competitive shooters. Its levels are ripped straight out of the then popular Goldeneye movie and had multiple difficulty levels for players to complete, leading to endless replays. It's hard to think that as popular as the multiplayer mode was, players almost never saw it as it was tacked on nearly at the last minute. This game is a great callback to the days when gaming was just beginning to find its footing. If you have an old N64 around, give it a shot, and hopefully the rumored remaster of this loved game happens. Next, we have Call of Duty Modern Warfare. In 2007 is often considered a golden year for games that strived for innovation in cinematic realism, immersion, and storytelling. A climate that Call of Duty 4 had a significant influence in defining. The game improved its high-definition graphics and sound while evolving the sensibilities of the first-person shooter genre. Call of Duty 4 managed to breathe new life into the first-person shooter genre alongside other innovative titles like Bioshock and others within the same year. While its core shooter mechanics were incredibly fun and intuitive, it also excels in its pacing and diversity of gameplay that makes the campaign so invigorating. The campaign balances moments of quiet stealth and loud combat, punctuated by existing gameplay scenarios and incredible set-piece moments, like defending a besieged village or infiltrating a cargo freighter. Next, we have Halo 2, and this is the game that defined what mainstream video games are and how they play for the century to date. From the moment Halo 2's trailer hit theaters, this was the first theatrical trailer for a game ever released. The game became something people did together. Halo 2 was the birth of the video game as we know it today, a mass shared experience. The game received critical acclaim, with the multiplayer being its best offering, giving players hundreds of hours of gameplay. In comparison, the campaign and its cliffhanger ending was divisive. The game's online component, though, was highly influential and cemented many features as standard in future games and online services, including matchmaking, lobbies, and clans. Halo 2's marketing heralded the beginning of video games as blockbuster media and eventual overtaking of all forms of media. Halo 2 is still a blast to play today and can be found on the Master Chief Collection on Game Pass. Next up, we have Doom. And not many games can call themselves genuine milestones, but Doom can claim such a title with confidence. starting with its use of immersive 3D graphics at a time where games were still resigned to flat 2D sprites and 16 bits. It helped set the groundwork for network multiplayer matches. It promoted the use of mods, even how it deftly juggled everything from realistic gun physics to intricate level design. There's a reason why plenty of games that came after were called Doom clones. Doom was a breath of fresh air in so many ways. Rather than burying the player in needless narrative and the crushing presence of lore, id Software let the levels themselves tell the story for it. The core gameplay loop focuses on the players learning the levels and enemy location in order to survive area after area. This loop keeps gamers of all age coming back and back to this decades-old game. Next up, we have Fortnite. And in the hit-driven video game industry, few franchises grow large enough to become household names, and even fewer can remain popular enough to survive more than a few years. Fortnite, however, has already surpassed both milestones to become one of the most influential video games in recent history. This game is very much geared towards younger people, as its age rating is 12 or older. On top of this, there's branded merchandise, YouTube streamers, there's the dance moves, which have now been incorporated by pop acts, and there's licensing from consumer products. Again, it's all aimed towards a younger generation, and this game is fun to play and has a gameplay loop of building, fighting, and creating that keeps you coming back for more. Next, we have Battlefield 4, and Battlefield 4 is probably the apex of the Battlefield games. This game excels in everything the series has become known for: big battles, explosions, destructions, fun, and teamwork. The game includes the same four classes: Assault, Engineer, Supply, and Sniper that were present in the previous game Battlefield 3. The Assault acts as your assault rifle toting medic. The Engineer is a decent field soldier who can damage or heal vehicles in the game, and Supply is there to rearm your troops and lay down suppressing fire. The Recon Soldier is a sniper class that kills you after you've spent 5 minutes walking across the map. Recon is also responsible for spotting enemies and providing some level of intelligence to your team. Whether you're on your own or with a team of 4, Battlefield is always an exhilarating adventure for those willing to put in the time. Next, we have Titanfall. And Titanfall 2 demonstrates a vitality that its predecessor couldn't. Whereas the first Titanfall kept up its breakneck pace throughout the entirety of every match, Titanfall 2 understands that sometimes dialing things back for a few moments can make the long run much more enjoyable. In many ways, Titanfall 2 feels like the game Respawn should have made in 2013. It's a fantastic sequel. It's a fluid shooter. It's a spectacular game. From its highly underrated story to its engaging multiplayer, those who pick up Titanfall 2 will have an exciting time to look forward to. If you're a fan of mechs or just amazing shooters, Titanfall 2 is a must-have. Next, we have Bioshock. There have been very few games with the sheer impact on the game industry as 2007's Bioshock. It's a game that significantly pushed the medium forward near the start of the 21st century with a meticulously crafted engagement and critique of the art, politics, philosophy, and game design ideas of the 20th. In Bioshock, players are made to look through the glass darkly at a nearly possible past, at a potential looming future, and at some of the underlying unease that has long defined American life. Bioshock is built on the aesthetics of Art Deco, the music of the World War II generation, the philosophy of Ayn Rand, the religious zeal of Christianity, the science of genetic modification, and the game design principles of several popular genres. It's a game that is at times overtly political, at times intensely disorienting, and at times an engine for pure catharsis via gameplay. There's now a collection of this series on modern consoles and is a must-have. Crysis is up next, and the original Crysis is most commonly remembered as the game your computer couldn't run. Indeed, it was so visually overwhelming in scope, fidelity, and beauty that many wrote it off as nothing more than a tech demo. What a shame that was. With its adaptable on-the-fly nanosuit, destructible sandbox environments, and dynamic artificial intelligence, Crysis was the kind of game you dreamed up as a kid and thought would never get made. Its gameplay is incredible fun, though it may seem dated by today's standards. One can only hope that future generations of games will continue inspiring the kind of awe that Crysis once did. Last, we have Half-Life 2. Now, Half-Life 2 and the Source engine are landmarks in game design. In the sequel to Gordon Freeman's similarly groundbreaking debut, Valve uses a cast of vivid characters and intricately designed levels to tell a story in a unique way while creating a fun, dynamic, and brilliantly designed shooter to boot. The joy of sending a saw blade spinning through a group of zombies with a gravity gun is as powerful today as it was in 2004. It's remarkable how well the game holds up to modern scrutiny. From its game-changing physics-based gameplay to its creation of an online purchase platform named Steam, this game is revolutionary no matter how you look at it. And there you go! These are our top 10 shooters of all time. We hope that you enjoyed today's video, and as always, please subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified every time we release a new video here on GAIME. Have an amazing day, and remember to have an exceptional adventure today, whether it's in your game or more importantly, in your life. Enjoy and have fun.